Good morning, Year 8. Well, hopefully we're starting to get back into the swing of things. Today's lesson is on bearings, and it's kind of a follow-on from yesterday's lesson, which was about angles and parallel lines. We're going to be using some of the ideas from yesterday's lesson today, particularly when you come on to do Hecate Task 494. Now, if you follow the instructions in the assessment, you will see that I've asked you to complete these 3 Hecate tests, but fear not, I'm only expecting you to do notes and answers in your exercise book for the last of these 494. The other 2 are introductory, just to give you a sense of what bearings are. But just as an extra little sort of help with that, I'm going to now very, very briefly, if I get this straight, straight. Oh, that'll do. I'm going to very, very briefly run over what a bearing actually is for you, so that you've got something extra than just listening to Mr. Hecate explaining it. So it's very, very simple. You have a place where you are standing, the blob on my page, and you're interested in travelling away from that place there. Now, how could somebody tell you which direction to travel in? Well, they could just use compass directions. And so, for example, if you were going straight up the page, they might tell you to go north. Let's suppose that north is straight up the page there. But I'll put a little N there for north, just so you know that up the page is north. Now, I'm not going to write on all the other compass directions on here, but we could have east, south, and west. You can also have northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest, and there are other ones as well. This is all well and good, but the problem is it only gives you a limited number of directions in which to travel. If we want to be able to travel in any direction, then we are going to need to be a bit more precise. And to be more precise, we talk about the angle that we're going to travel on. So, for example, suppose I am trying to get to a friend's house who lives down here somewhere on the page. Okay, so I'm here and I'm trying to get to my friend's house here. I want an instruction as to the direction to travel. Well, that instruction could be the angle on which I should travel. So if I just draw a line between these 2 points here like so, then the angle that I'm interested in is this angle round here. So if I put an angle measurer on the diagram like so, okay, then the angle I would need to travel on would be, it's the outside numbers here, it would be this angle here, 114 degrees. You can swivel this round if you want a sort of an idea of how far round we have to go to get to that angle. It's 114 degrees. So what you need to know is that that angle there is called the bearing. So the bearing, let's suppose I'm standing at A and I'm trying to get to B. So the bearing of B, from where I am, which is A, is equal to 114 degrees. Okay, now I could have lots of friends, I might have, and they might live in different places all around. So I could have a friend that lives up here, I could have a friend that lives down here, I could have a friend that lives over here, and a friend that lives up here, say. I could call the places where they are C, D, E, and F. And if I wanted an instruction as to how to get to each of those friends, I could draw a line between where I am and each of those places, like so. And for each of them, I could get my angle measurer out and actually find the bearing simply by putting it on and once again measuring the angle round here. So I'm not actually going to do the whole process now. I'll just, well, perhaps I will do. It won't take me very long. So the bearing of, let's do a little table. C, D, E, and F. And I want the bearing from A, where I am. So here we go. So the bearing of C from A, I can probably do all this in one go, I don't even need to move the angle measurer, would be 34 degrees. Now, interestingly, they're actually called three-figure bearings. So I don't actually write 34, I write 034 degrees, like so. I'm sure Mr. Hegarty will mention this in the video. Okay, the bearing of D would be 153 degrees. The bearing E from A would be 221 degrees. And finally, the bearing of F from A would be, oh, look at that, spot on, 300 degrees. Okay, so very, very simple. All a bearing is an instruction as to the direction in which you need to travel to get to somewhere from where you are. And it's always measured in degrees, and a bearing can be any value from 0 if you're actually heading north, right the way around to 359 degrees if you're sort of heading just slightly that side of north. And that's how it works. But watch the Hegarty videos, answer the questions only for 492 and 493, and then do 494 properly in your books. And I shall speak to you again next lesson. Bye for now.